The night in Puerto Rico felt electric long before the first punch was thrown. The air inside the arena heavy with pride, expectation, and belief. This was supposed to be a coronation. Red, white, and blue flags waved in every corner, drums echoed through the stands, and the chants grew louder with every passing second. Subriel Matias, the undefeated destroyer, the reigning IBF Super Lightweight Champion, walked toward the ring like a storm promised, but not yet unleashed. He was the man no one survived, the pressure fighter with a perfect knockout record, a symbol of Puerto Rican grit and violence forged through years of relentless warfare. Across from him stood Paro, the quiet Australian southpaw, unbeaten but underestimated, stepping into hostile territory with calm eyes and disciplined breath.
No roar followed him like Matias, no thunder of expectation, only focus. This was Matias's house, his people, his moment. The commentators spoke of inevitability, of power, of history repeating itself. 8 fights, 8 knockouts. No man had ever gone the distance. The bell rang not just to start a fight, but to test a belief the entire island held sacred, that pressure breaks everything in front of it. But boxing has always lived in the space between certainty and chaos, and as the crowd stood on its feet, no one yet realized that this night would rewrite a reputation, silence a nation, and crown a champion who refused to be intimidated by destiny.
From the opening seconds, the contrast was clear. Matias stalked forward with heavy steps, measuring, reading, applying pressure like a gathering hurricane. He didn't rush. He never needed to. His presence alone forced reactions. Paro, however, did not retreat in panic. He circled, stayed light on his feet, snapping sharp jabs and quick left hands, touching and moving before danger could settle. The crowd murmured at first, then grew restless. They expected explosions. Instead, they saw patience. Matias spent the early rounds downloading information, touching the body, sneaking in short hooks, reminding Paro that the storm was real. But Paro answered with precision, not power. Clean shots, angles, discipline. He wasn't there to win respect. He was there to win rounds.
As the minutes passed, the Australians' confidence grew, and so did the tension in the arena. Each time Matias stepped forward, Paro slipped out, landing just enough to steal moments. The crowd applauded effort, but demanded dominance. This was unfamiliar territory. The monster wasn't feeding yet. By the end of the opening rounds, an uneasy truth began to surface. Paro was not overwhelmed, not shaken, not broken. He was executing a plan, calmly and methodically, inside the lion's den. As the fight entered the middle rounds, the pressure intensified, not just from Matias, but from expectation itself. The champion began to open up more, digging to the body, letting his hands go in bursts, searching for the reaction he had seen so many times before. Hooks thudded against ribs, uppercuts grazed chins, and the crowd surged with every heavy exchange. Yet Paro absorbed it with composure, answering back with sharp counters and crisp combinations.
His southpaw left hand snapped Matias's head back more than once, a sound the audience wasn't used to hearing. The commentary shifted from certainty to curiosity. Was Matias choosing his moments, or was something missing? Paro's movement frustrated him, forcing resets, stealing seconds, stealing rounds. Blood trickled from Matias's nose, an image that sent shockwaves through the building. This was not the script. Matias had never been here before, never in a fight this competitive, never in a fight this patient. Still, the champion pressed on, believing in attrition, believing that pressure would eventually erode the resistance in front of him. But Paro's discipline never cracked. He stayed off the ropes, kept the fight in the center of the ring, and refused to trade recklessly. With each round that passed, the upset stopped feeling impossible, and started feeling inevitable.
By the championship rounds, the atmosphere had changed completely. The roar of confidence had turned into anxious noise, every punch now weighed with fear instead of celebration. Matias tried to summon the monster everyone feared, stepping harder, throwing with more urgency, looking for the switch that had ended every other night early. He landed clean shots, shots that would have folded others. But Paro stood firm, answering back immediately, refusing to give ground. Fatigue crept in, sweat mixed with doubt, and the champion's feet grew heavier while the challenger continued to glide. Paro wasn't just surviving, he was winning moments, winning exchanges, winning belief. The judges' unofficial scorecards reflected the unimaginable. The crowd, once united, split between hope and disbelief. Could this really happen here? Could a man walk into Puerto Rico and outbox its most feared champion? Matias's corner urged urgency, begged for volume, demanded violence. Paro's corner preached composure, intelligence, and distance. Two philosophies collided under the brightest lights, and only one was holding together. As the bell rang to end another round, the champion returned to his corner breathing hard, eyes searching for answers that had always come naturally before. This time, they didn't. The final rounds felt like a slow-burning realization. Matias pushed forward one last time, heart roaring louder than his fists, trying to will the fight into a familiar ending. He landed body shots, threw looping hooks, even found moments of success that reignited the crowd. But Paro never panicked. He matched intensity with intelligence, punching in combination, stepping out of danger, stealing the final seconds of every exchange. The Australian's conditioning held firm, his confidence now unmistakable. This wasn't survival anymore, this was control. Each bell felt heavier than the last, each second ticking away from inevitability.
The audience stood, not cheering, but waiting, dreading the moment the truth would be spoken aloud. When the final bell rang, there was no celebration, only uncertainty. Matias raised his gloves briefly, Paro nodded respectfully, both men knowing the fight had gone somewhere no one predicted. One had searched for the finish that defined his career. The other had built a masterpiece out of discipline, courage, and belief. In that silence, boxing revealed its cruelest and most beautiful truth. Power does not always win, and pressure does not always break the prepared. The fighters gathered in the center of the ring as the scorecards were read, every breath held hostage by anticipation. The numbers confirmed what the rounds had already whispered. This was not close enough to deny. Unanimous decision. The words echoed like thunder in reverse, draining the arena of certainty and filling it with disbelief. Liam Paro had done the unthinkable.
He had gone the distance with a man no one survived. Outboxed a champion in his homeland and taken his title with composure instead of chaos. The crowd, stunned into silence, slowly gave way to respect. Matias stood dignified, defeated but proud, his aura forever changed. This was not a collapse, but a lesson. Boxing punishes assumption. Paro fell to his knees, overwhelmed, the weight of a lifetime dream crashing down all at once. From underestimated challenger to world champion, his journey reached its summit in the most unforgiving place possible. This was not just an upset. It was a reminder that courage travels well, that intelligence survives pressure, and that belief, when executed with precision, can silence even the loudest rooms in the world.
On a night that was meant to celebrate dominance, boxing chose revelation instead. Subriel Matias remained a warrior, a champion forged in fire, but no longer invincible. Liam Paro left Puerto Rico carrying more than a belt. He carried proof that preparation can outlast fear, and that discipline can dismantle destruction. The island would remember this night, not for what it expected, but for what it learned. The boogeyman had been tamed, not by power, but by patience. As the crowd slowly filtered out and the lights dimmed, history lingered in the ring. A reminder that every era ends not with a roar, but with a lesson. And on this unforgettable night, Liam Paro didn't just win a fight, He changed the story.